asking for the domain. Domain for the polynomial is already domain. The inside logarithm, the function inside the logarithm must be greater than 0 for the square root greater than or equal to 0. If you have a fraction numerator and denominator mustn't be equal to 0. Now to find the domain, you have to find the domain for the denominator, and find the intersection between numerator and denominator. Up, we said it's log, so 6 minus 2x greater than 0. Don't put or equal. So 6 greater than 2x divided by 2, so x less than 3. Okay.
كتابة مش ظاهرة.
Sorry.
الكتابة كانت مش ظاهرة.
ظاهرة دلوقتي يا شادي؟
ظاهرة صح.
ممكن يحصل شوية ديلي عشان فرق النت مش أكتر يعني. ماشي؟
تمام.
So x less than 3. X less than 3. If you have here 3. Then to the left hand side. Okay. The denominator square. We said the square root must be greater or equal, but because it is in the denominator also cannot be equal to 0. So I have to put x squared plus 2x greater than 0. How to solve this one to find the roots? You can take x common factor, x plus 2, x plus 2 greater than 0. And you have to test. Here is we have 0 or negative 2. Negative 2, of course, to the left. Less than negative 2. This negative. Negative 3 plus 2, negative multiplied negative. A number between negative 2 and like negative 1. Negative 1, this is negative. Negative 1 plus 2 will be positive. Negative multiplied positive is a negative. Greater than 0, like 5. 5, this one positive. 5 plus 2 is positive. Positive multiplied positive is a positive. We need greater than 0, so we have 2 intervals here. Less than negative 2 or greater than 0. Can we put together? Yes. Negative 2 and 0. 0, of course, will be here. Okay. Negative 2 is 0 and negative 2. Less than negative 2. So where is the intersection intervals between the first solution and second solution? This one is included, right? Also, negative 2 and less, correct? So we have from negative infinity, here is negative infinity, to negative 2. Union from 0 to 3. Okay, so we have C. Here is the same, but both are square roots. Square root up, the domain will be x greater than or equal to negative 2. You know how to do this one. Greater than 0 or equal, so shift to the other side. Okay. So as if again we have negative 2, but this time is closed. Here is greater than. Down 5 greater than x means x less than 5. Why we didn't put or equal? Because it is in the denominator here, cannot be 0. So x less than 5. 5 here is open. Less than. So where is the intersection here? From -2 to where? To 5. -2 is closed. And 5 is what is open. Here is. Any question, boys? Boys or girls, any question?
No, teacher.
Okay. Solve. This inequality, it has what? Absolute value. Absolute value conditions. When it is greater than 0 or when it is less than 0. Here is we have greater than or equal to 3. To solve this one, we will put 2x minus 5. If this one is positive, so already it will be greater than or equal to 3, as it is. Otherwise, 2x minus 5 will be a negative, so it will be less than or equal to -3, the opposite side of 3. Solve both. Here is 2x greater than or equal, add 5 for both sides, 8, then divide by 2, divide by 2. So x is greater than or equal to 4. Here is add 5. So 2x less than or equal to, when you add 5 here, it will be 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2. So x less than or equal to what? 1. Don't forget we have OR here. Okay. Which solution now? Number B, right? X greater than or equal to 4 or x less than or equal to 1. Now we're going to find the limit. But the limit already is given. It's what? 4. Look here, when x approaches to what? Infinity. When x approaches to infinity and you get a number here, means the degree of numerator equal the degree of denominator. Why? Because if the denominator, the degree of denominator greater than, so it would be 0. And if the degree of the numerator greater than the degree of denominator, it would be infinity. But because we have a number here, it must be the same. And we divide the coefficients. But it's x power 3 here. And we have up x power 4. How will be the same? If this one is 0, so we can delete x power 4. This 1, 0, 1, when a equal to 5, right? So we get a equal 5. Because down is x power 3. So it's not acceptable that x is power 4 up. We have to delete it if this one is 0. Okay. Now, x power 3, the coefficient is what? B. X power 3, the coefficient is what? Is 1. B divided by 1 equal 4. So B is what? Of course, B is 4. So A is 5 and B is 4. Any question? Okay. Now, if f of x is equal negative square root of f of 5 minus x, then inverse of f of x is what? How to find the inverse function? First step, put f of x, y. Second step, switch between x and y. I will put x equal to negative square root of 5 minus y and try to solve for y. Square both sides, so it's x squared. Square, it will be positive, and we can remove now the square root, so it will be 5 minus y. It means that y, shift to left-hand side, will be y equal 5 minus x squared. Where is 5 minus x squared? This one. Minus x squared plus 5, which is the same 5 minus x squared. Okay. Find all points of intersection. We have two equations here. The intersection means when the two equations are equal. It means when x squared minus 5 equal to x plus 1. Solve it to find the intersection point. So x squared minus x minus 5, then you can shift also 1, it will be negative 1 equal to 0. We make it 0 equation here. Pi x squared minus x minus 5 minus 1, it is negative 6. Now solve using your calculator. You can do it by factoring whatever, x, 2 and 3, negative and positive. So x is negative 2 or x is 3. X is negative 2 is refused. Who can tell me why it is refused? Sorry. No. I'm so sorry. It's accepted. Negative 2 here is accepted. Yes.
سوي انفايت حق عمر عمري.
He can use the link to join.
قام ما يضبط وياه.
1 minute.
سوي حق عمر عمري وحسين حمود اللبناني هذا وكم من واحد، اختار اي واحد والله.
Hussein Hamoud. It's easy to use the link. Who else?
لا
حسين حمود وعمر عمري.
عمر عمري, okay, done.
خلاص اوكي.
So we have two values for x here. X is equal to negative 2. 1 minute. Or x equal to 3. Now we need the value for what? For y also. How to find value for y? You can substitute in first or second. I think second more easy, which is y. So if x is equal to negative 2, y is equal to y is what? So the first point is negative 2 and negative 1. Second point, when x is equal to 3, we have the same equation, y equal x plus 1. Y equal 3 plus 1, so y is 4. So we have x is 3 and y is 4. Here is the 2 points here, 3, 4, -2, -1, which is A. Any question? Okay, the function f of x equal cosine pi over 2 minus x. By the way, cosine over x equivalent to which one? Do you know? Equivalent to sine x. Has an inverse in restricted domain. Which domain? Negative pi over 2, pi over 2 open, or the closed negative pi over 2 and pi over 2, or 0 to pi, -1 and 1. I need your answers. Who can answer this one?
Is it A?
Okay. Is it A? I couldn't hear you clearly. Sorry.
Is it A, teacher?
A. Yes, it's A. Here is sine inverse cosine of x equals what? In this case, make a right angle triangle. We have inverse of cosine is x. So we have an alpha here or theta, any angle here, and the cosine is x, means x over 1, adjacent over hypotenuse. So the third side will be what? The square root of 1 squared, which is 1, minus x squared. Okay. Now we need what? The sine. Sine is what?
Hypotenuse over hypotenuse.
Sorry?
Opposite over hypotenuse.
Yes, it means square root of 1 minus x squared. Excellent. Okay. Determine the period of f of x equals sine 2x plus cosine 3x. Okay. Here is we have sine and cosine. In general, sine x is what? The period for sine x, not 2x. It's 2 pi, right? Sine x is 2 pi. But sine 2x is what? It will be 2 pi over 2 over b. The period is 2 pi over b is pi. This for sine 2x. What about cosine 3x? It will be 2 pi over b over 3, right? Okay. When the period will be the same, add LCM, least common multiple of pi and 2 pi over 3. Can you find it? Grade 12. LCM for pi and 2 pi over 3. Forget about pi. 1 and 2 over 3. How to find the lowest common multiple or least common multiple? Any answer? Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, teacher.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
So how to find the lowest common multiple? Or the least common multiple? Okay, I will tell you. If you have a fraction, 2/3, 1 also, like 1/1, and 2/3. Okay, we will take the least common multiple of the numerators, which is 2. And the highest common factor of the denominators. Denominator, the factor here is 1, so this is the highest one. So 2/1. If it's pi, so it means 2 pi over 1 means 2 pi. So the answer is what? Boys, the answer is what?
2 pi.
2 pi. Thank you.
بس ممكن تعيد الطريقة؟
Okay. Here is we have 2x, so the period will be 2 pi over 2, which is pi. Okay. Second one, it will be 3x means 2 pi over 3. We need the common multiple here, the least common multiple between pi and 2 pi over 3. For the fraction, how to find it? Grade 4, this one. To find the least common between the numerators, okay, which is 2, and the highest factor of denominators, the highest factors. The factor is 1 multiply 1. The factor is 3, 1 and 3. Okay, so what is the highest common one? It's 1. So the answer is 2 pi over 1, means 2 pi. Okay?
Okay.
If log x to the base of a equals 3 and log y to base b equal 2, then x cubed plus y power 5 equals what? We need x. So we have to convert between logarithm and exponent. It means if log x to the base of a equals 3, so x equal a power 3. And here is y equal b power 2. We need x cubed, and this one is a cubed. It means a cubed power 3 plus y is b square to the power of 5. 3 multiply 3, 9. 2 multiply 5 is 10. So we have a power 9 plus b power 10. Solve. -1 plus 2 log x base 4 equals 1. Here is we have to shift the numbers together. So we will get 2 log x is equal to 1 plus 1, it will be 2. Here is you can divide by 2. So log x is equal to 1. Again, here you have to convert to what? Exponent 4. So x is equal to 4 power 1. 4 power 1 means what? 4. Any question? Any question?
No, teacher. No on stage.
Thank you. Determine the period of. It's the same, by the way. Sorry. Repeat it. Find the equation of horizontal asymptote. Take care here, it's x power negative 2. We don't like negative for the powers. So what to do? We'll multiply up and down by x power 2. When you multiply by x power 2, I will multiply by x power 2. Up and down. 3x power negative 2 multiply x power 2, it will be only 3. Minus 8 multiply x square is 8x squared. 8x squared. Down. X power negative 2 multiply x power 2, 1. Plus 4x squared. Now, we can divide negative 8 by 4. Why? The same order here, x power 2, x power 2. So, the horizontal asymptote here will be negative 8 divided by 4, which is negative 2. Easy?
Easy.
Okay. If f of x equal x squared plus 1, g of x equal 10x, then f of g of x will be which one? G of x is tan x. We need f of g of x. So instead of x here, I will put g of x, which is tan x. F of tan x, what does it mean? Remove x and put tan x. So you have tan square x plus 1. Here is we don't have tan square plus 1. Yeah, but we have secant square. Because 1 plus tan square is what? Secant square. Done?
Yes.
Okay, now find the limit when x approaches to 0, cosine inverse sine of x. I have to find first limit for inverse sine when x approaches to 0. Which is what?
0.
0 also. Now, find the limit of cosine 0. Or find cosine 0. Which is what? Cosine 0 is what? 1. If anyone wants to ask it, please raise your hand or just ask me direct. Any question?
No, it's clear.
لا استوى ولا غلطة معنا.
If x squared plus 5x less than or equal to x, multiply by f of x less than or equal to 3x plus sine 2x. Find limit when f of x approaches to 0. Aha. We have a theorem said that if now the first part here, the limit, equals the limit of the third part, so the middle one must be the same. It means just try to find limit for x squared plus 5x and the limit 3x plus sine 2x. Okay, but we need only f of x. This one multiply f of x. First, divide by x. We know that x is not equal to 0. From where? X approaches to 0, not equal to 0. So we can divide by x. When you divide here by x, you will get x plus 5. By x, you will get f of x. By x, you will get 3. And you will get sine plus sine 2x over x. Find the limit of the first one. First one, just substitute. X is 0, so 0 plus 5 is 5. So the limit here is 5. Good. The limit for last one. The limit of 3 is 3. This is constant. Still the same. Plus sine 2x over x is what? It's 2. Sine x over x, the limit when x approaches to 0 is 1. Sine 2x over x will be 2. 3 plus 2 is what? It's 5. So the middle one, which is between here, must be what? The same value, 5, 5, so it will be 5. F of x equal ax squared plus bx when x less than or equal -1. 2ax minus b when x greater than or equal to -1. And the limit already f of x is equal to 3. Limit f of x equal to 3, it means from left and from right must be equal to 3. When you find the limit from left, limit from left, limit ax squared plus bx when x less than or equal to -1. This means when x approaches to 3, approaches to 0, sorry. From where? From left. I think there is a mistake here. That's what I think. Right? Must be the same here. X approaches to -1, not to 0. Okay. -1. Just substitute by x equal -1 here. So a multiply -1 squared plus b multiply -1. This one must be equal to 3. So a -1 squared is a minus b equal 3. Here is the first equation. Okay. Second equation, when x approaches from right here. Substitute again by x equal -1. 2a multiply -1 minus b equal to 3. Must be the same number, of course. -2a minus b equal to 3. Same equation here we have. A minus b equal 3. -2a minus b equal to 3. We can solve the two equations together. How to solve?
عليكم.
Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah. You can subtract. When you subtract here, -2a minus a, -3a, minus b minus -b, 0, 3 minus 3, 0. So -3a equal to 0 means a equals 0. If a equals 0, so b is what? B is 3. B is -3. Okay, so a is 0 and b must be -3. Something wrong here. Maybe he means to 0 here. but the answer must be A is 0 and B is -3. Unless he means here to 0. Now, limit when x approaches to 0, cosine tan inverse of x. The same idea we have here. You have to find the limit for inverse tan of x. When x approaches to 0, will be what? Zero.
Will be A.
Yeah. Now cosine 0, again, it's what? It's 1. Here, there is use the graph to find the limit. When x approaches to 2, this is what? Infinity. From right is infinity, from left is infinity, so the limit here is what? Infinity. Okay, now limit when x approaches to length 3, e power 2x minus e power x minus 6 e power x minus 3. When you substitute by x equal length 3, you will get 0 over 0. So what to do? Factorize.
Right.
Good. E power x, e power x, 2 and 3. 3 is negative, 2 is positive. Down we have e power x minus 3. Now, it's clear we are solving correct. Why? Because we can now cancel e, the bracket here up and down. We will get only e power x plus 2. E power x plus 2 when x approaches to length 3. So e power length 3 plus 2. E power length 3, it's 3. 3 plus 2 is what? 5. You know that e power ln x is equal to x. E and ln inverse functions. So they can delete each other. So e power ln 3 is 3. Plus 2 is what? Is 5. Okay, Islam, you have any question, Islam? Okay, 1 minute, Islam. Islam, according to the question itself. Okay, not every time, according to the question itself. Now, look at this one. This one is not easy, by the way. We need the limit when x approaches to -1, f of x plus 2 over x plus 1. F of x at x approaches to -1, it will be here, -2. So -2 plus 2, 0. Now -1 plus 1 is 0. 0 over 0. We cannot use it directly. Any idea here? Hmm. 1 minute. Going here.
Mister, could you repeat what you said?
Repeat what? what I said? Now,
Yeah, Mr.
if f of x here is what? From the graph. When x approaches to -1, it's what? Tell me, it's what?
-2.
It's -2 here. At -1, it's -2, correct? At this point. So -2 plus 2, 0. Here is x approaches to -1. So -1 plus 1, 0. 0 over 0. So how to find the solution here? How to find the limit when x approaches to -1? Okay. You remember when we said f of x minus f of x1 over x minus x1. This is what? The derivative of f of x, correct? At x equal x1, correct? From the definition, the limit here, when x approaches to x1. F of x minus f of x1 over x minus x1. This is the limit, this is the slope, okay? This is also the first derivative. So can we put this one in the same formula here or form? Yeah, look here. We have f of x, correct? F of x. Okay. 2, look here, 2 is what? F of what?
1.
F of 1, right? 2 f of what? Of 1 minus f of 1. Now, this one could be what? X minus 1. F of must be f of minus 1. Sorry, f of minus 1, not 1. F of minus 1. Okay. So look at the form here we have. This one is what? F prime of x at x equal -1. Correct? F of x minus f of -1 divided by x minus -1. 1 is -1, correct? F prime of x at x equal -1. Look at x at equal -1. This one is what? A line, right? So the derivative of a line is what?
0.
0. This one horizontal line, constant. This line is x equal -2, exactly. The slope, the limit, whatever here, sorry, y equal -2, y equal -2. So the slope here, the limit, the derivative, it will be what? 0. Okay. Again, I know you need to explain again. F of x. Here is I will put minus, so this one will be -2, correct? And down x minus -1. F of x and x the same. What about -2? -2, we can replace it by f of -1, right? F of -1 is -2. So the form here will be limit when x approaches to -1, f of x minus f of -1 over x minus -1. This is exactly f prime of x at x equal -1. We don't have f prime, but we have f at x equal -1, which is what? This line y equal -2, right? The derivative of y equal -2 is what? Is 0. It is constant. The derivative of constant is 0. So the answer is what? Is 0. Good or bad? Next one, we will do the same, by the way. Cosine x, this is f of x. X minus x1. So we need also f of x1. It means f of pi over 2. The same number, right? The function here is cosine. So we have cosine x minus cosine pi over 2 over x minus pi over 2. But mister, you subtract here cosine pi over 2 and you didn't add cosine pi over 2. Yes. Why? Because cosine pi over 2 is 0. I can add 0 or subtract 0. It doesn't matter. Right? Just I want to put in the same form. So again, this one is what is f prime at pi over 2. F means cosine x prime. So the derivative of cosine is what? Negative sign. At pi over 2. This one is what? Sine pi over 2 is what? 1 multiplied by negative, so it will be -1. Boys and girls, any question?
Teacher, can you repeat the last question?
Okay, the last question here. We have only cosine x. We need minus cosine pi over 2 to have the same formula. Can we subtract? Yes. Why? Because cosine pi over 2 is 0. Like if you put -0 plus 0, so it is the same. But to take the same form here, f of x minus f of x1 over x minus x1. This one is what? Is the first derivative. First derivative of what? Of f of x, of cosine x. Derivative of cosine is negative sign. So negative sign. And x is pi over 2, pi over 2. This one is equal to -1. Okay? Done?
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Welcome. Now, limit 2x minus, you know this function is what? Integer x multiplied by x over 2 sine 3x. When x approaches to 0 from left. Now, how to solve this one? By the way, when x approaches to 0 from left, integer x will be what? You know, 0 from left. This is 0 from left. We take the lowest one, not the biggest one. This equal what? Can you tell me equals what? Zero from left means less than 0. So the integer of x will be what? -1. 0 from left. 0 from left means like negative 0.4 مثلا, for example. It will be what? -1. We take the smallest one. This one between -1 and 0. You take the smallest one. The integer of 1.5 is what? Is 1. And so on. Okay, so now if you substitute by 0, so 2 multiplied by 0, 0. Here is x is 0. Here is 0, so it will be 0 over 0. How to find now the limit? Okay. Now again, we can take like 2x over 2 sine 3x minus over 2 sine 3x, right? You can separate here the minus. Now 1 time 2x minus then the other function here over the same denominator 2 sine 3x. Here we can delete 2 by 2. This one, the limit when x approaches to 0 is what?
1 over 3.
1 over 3, good. The other part here will be what? This one will be what? Yeah, tell me.
1 over 6.
Good, 1 over 6. What about this one? Will be what? -1.
-1.
Correct? Negative multiply negative will be what? +1. So it's 1 over 3 plus 1 over 6. So the answer will be 1 over 2. Again, girls, here is, we can put 2x over 2 sine 3x minus multiply x over 2 sine 3x. This one is 1 over 3. Now we have minus here. This one is -1. X over 2 sine 3x is 1 over 6. Already we have 1 over 2 and here is 3, so it will be 1 over 6. Negative means positive. If you calculate this one, it will be 1 over 2. Okay. Any question?
Mister, I didn't understand.
Okay. If you have 5 minus x over 2, 5 minus x over 2. 5 minus x over 2. You can put it as 5 over 2 minus x over 2, correct?
Yes, Mr.
That's what happened here exactly. It will be 2x over 2 sine 3x minus integer x multiplied by x over 2 sine 3x. We can cancel 2 by 2. This one equals what? The limit when x approaches to 0? 1 over 3, because it is 3 here, down. 1 over 3. Sine x over x is 1. X over sine x is 1. But over 3x, it's 1 over 3. Here is the minus. Okay. This one, when x approaches to 0 from left, it will be negative 1. X over 2 sine x. Here's 2. X over sine 3x is what? 1 over 3. So 1 over 3, negative, negative, positive. 1 over 2 multiplied 3 is 6. Add, it's equal 1 over 2. Okay? Okay or not?
Yeah, okay, Mr.
Okay, here is he needs to evaluate limit f of x when x approaches to negative 1. Negative 1, where? Here. What about this one? It doesn't matter, because we are just looking at x approaches to negative 1. So, substitute here by negative 1. It will be 3 multiply negative 1 square plus negative 1 equals 2. Okay. This one is square root of 3 minus negative 1 also equals 2. So the limit is what? It's 2, as you see. Okay, girls and boys?
Yes.
Determine all asymptotes. It means vertical asymptotes. You have here 3x minus 6 over x squared minus 2x.
B.
B, 0 and 2. Yes. Can you find the whole here? Whole at what?
At x equal to.
At x equal to. Why at x equal to? If you take here x minus 2, here is a common factor, and down x common factor, so x minus 2 is the removable x minus 2, so we have a whole at x equals what? X equals 2. Here is the same question, but he just asking the same question I asked here. Which function has removable discontinuity? Means whole at x equals 1.
C.
C.
See, very good. If f prime of 4 equals 6, find limit f of x minus f of 4 over square root of x minus 2. Here is we have f of x and f of 4, but we don't have x minus 4. So we have to find it. How? If you multiply by square root of x plus 2, up and down. So the denominator here exactly will be square root of x minus 2 multiply square root of x plus 2, it is x minus 4. First square minus second square. What about up? F of x minus f of 4 multiply square root of x plus 2. This one is what? Is the first derivative, which already is given. It's what? 6. This one substitute by what? By x equal 4. So 6 multiply square root of 4 plus 2 equals 24. Nasam?
Mr. Explain again, please.
Oh, okay. You can ask me directly, by the way, okay? Again, the form we need, f of x minus f of 1 over x, x1, f of x1, x minus x1. Look here, denominator is perfect, f of x minus f of x1, which is 4. Down, it's not x, it is square root of x minus a square root of also 4. We need x minus 4 to have the same formula. So I will multiply by the conjugate here, x square root of x plus 2. Because when we multiply here, we will get first square, which is x, minus second square, which is 4. If I multiply denominator, I have to multiply also the numerator. So it's up here. F of x minus f of 4, this is the formula here over x minus 4. This one already, it is what? F prime of 4. F prime of 4 is what? Is 6. So I will replace all of this by 6. And square root of x, square root of 4, because x approaches to 4. 6 multiply square root of 4, which is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4, multiply 6 is what? Is 24. Okay. Any question? Lana, I joined late, but if you have anything or any question after, so I can explain to you. No problem. Nasam, done?
Yes, Mr.
Now we need the limit for sine 3x square root of 5x plus 4 negative 2. What to do now?
We can use two methods. First one, take the derivative for the numerator and denominator. And second method, we can multiply by square root of 5x plus 4 plus 2.
Okay. So let us try to multiply by square root of 5x plus 4 plus 2 up and down. When you multiply here, keep sign 3x square root of 5x plus 4 plus 2 down will be 5x plus 4 minus 4 first square minus second square. Plus 4 and minus 4, as you see, it will be only 5x. MashaAllah. Now look here. What we have? Sine 3x over 5x. It's equal to what? 3 over 5. 3 over 5. Okay. A square root of 5. X here is what? 0. Plus 4 plus 2. So it is 3 over 5. This one, square root of 4 plus 2 is 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 multiplied 3 is 12 over 5. Okay. Do I have to explain again? Girls, boys?
لا لا أستاذ مفهوم.
Limit f of x equal 8 when x approaches to -1. This is given. Then the value of limit square root of f of x minus x, absolute value of x minus 2 when x approaches to -1. Boys,
Teacher, we
girls.
derive, right? Drive
Direct
the limit.
substitution. Direct substitution. شوفوا يا اولاد، مش كل حاجه لازم ان هي تيجي ان انا افضل ان انا اعقد فيها او اعمل. لا، فكري الاول او فكروا الاول بالحل السهل. دايركت سبستيتيوشن. تمام؟
يعني 1.
يعني انا هحط هنا اهوت ادي سكوير روت اوف اف اوف اكس از وات؟ از 8 minus x is what? -1 minus -1 down absolute value of x minus 1 minus 2 up it's 3 down also 3. 3 divided by 3 is what? Is 1. Okay. طيب. If the tangent of the curve f of x equal x squared minus ax is parallel of x-axis, what does it mean? Parallel of x-axis. The translation means m is 0 because it will be a horizontal parallel to x-axis, so it's horizontal. So the tangent here, the slope here will be 0. Slope of the tangent will be 0. How to find the slope of the tangent? The first derivative. First derivative, f prime of x is 2x minus a at x equals what? 2. So substitute 2 multiplied by 2 minus a equals what? 0, because m is 0. So a is what? 4. 2 multiplied to 4. 4 minus a 0, so a is 4. في حد بيسأل حاجة؟ 1 minute. اوكي عمران. Understood?
Course.
Okay. Nice.
Yes, Mr.
Okay. Anybody has any question? If you have, raise your hand, please. Okay. If f of x equal square root of x cubed plus 2x plus 4, have an inverse function g of x, what is the value of g prime of 4? What to do here? G prime of 4 means f of x is 4. So square root of x cubed square root of x cubed plus 2x plus 4 is equal to 4. First, you have to square both sides. When you square the left-hand side, it will be x cubed plus 2x plus 4. 4 square is 16. Make it zero equation. So x cubed plus 2x minus 12 equal to 0. You can use your calculator to solve this one. You will get only one real solution. X is equal to 2. One real solution, 2. Okay? You know how to solve using the calculator? I can explain if you want. If you can, raise your hand. If you can use the calculator to solve, raise your hand. Okay, so 1 minute. I will explain for the others.
Mister, I think you can just derive it, then multiply it by 4 once you get the answer of the derivative of this equation. You get also x equal to.
Okay. How to solve the cubic equation here? Mod, then equation is what? Is 5.
Mod
Now,
5, 4.
What kind of equation? It's x cubed, so number 4 here, press 4. Now, insert a is what?
1.
B is what?
0.
0, exactly.
C is 2.
C
And
is 2.
D is negative 12.
Negative 12. Yes. Then equal. X1 is 2. X2, it has I. X3 also, it has I. So we have only x is equal what? 2. Okay, Hussein. Any question? Or you forget your hand?
بالغلط by mistake, teacher.
Okay. No. Then after, now we get x equal to Okay. How to find G? Sorry. Now we have how to find G prime of X.
That's the
Can
share
your
screen.
screen?
Sorry?
We can't see your screen. It's not shown.
بس راسك يبين.
Now, can you see it now?
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay. How to find G prime? It will be 1 over F prime of G of X, right? So find F prime. F prime is what? One over 2 square root of X cubed plus 2X plus 4. Multiply by the derivative of X cubed plus 2X plus 4, which is what? 3X squared plus 2. Then substitute by 2. So 2 squared plus 2 square root of this X cubed 2 power 3 plus 2 multiply 2 plus 4. 2 square 4 multiply 3 12 plus 2 is 14 over 2. Now square root of 2 power 3 plus 2 power 2 plus 4. This one is 8 plus 4 plus 4. 4 plus 4 is 8, multiply plus 8, 16. Square root of 16 is 4, multiply 2 is 8. So it's 14 over 8, which you can simplify as 7 over 4. If f of 2, the next one, equal to 5, f prime of 2 is 3, f of 5 is 4, f prime of 5 is negative 6. Okay. And h of 2x minus 8 equal x squared multiplied by f of x. Evaluate h prime of 2. H prime of what? Of 2. Okay. H prime of 2.
Teacher, excuse me. When we found the answer in the first question, we didn't divide it by 1. So it's 1 over 7 over 4.
Ah, sorry. Yeah, you have the right. We didn't. So it will be 4 over 7. Sorry. Excellent, Shadi. Thank you, Shadi. As usual.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you. Here is H prime. How to find H prime? H prime here. Okay. For any value, it will be according to its x squared multiplied by f of x. So it will be x squared multiply f prime of x plus f of x multiplied by 2x u multiply v. Okay. Okay. H must be, we have h of what? Of 2. but this one is 2x minus 8. So it means 2x minus 8 equals 2. So 2x equals 10 means x equals 5. It means here, when I want to find h prime of 2, I have to find f prime of 5, because x is 5. When all of this is 2, this one will be 5. X will be 5. So I need 5, x is 5. 5 squared multiply f prime of 5 plus f of 5 multiply 2 multiplied by 5. 5 squared is 25. F prime of 5 from where? Here. It's a given. Multiply -6 plus f of 5. F of 5 is 4. Also given. Multiply 2 multiply 5 is what? 10. 25 multiply -6, it's negative 150 plus 40. 4 multiplied 10 is 40. So the answer must be equal negative 110. Again?
Yeah,
Grade
Mr.
12? Again, huh? Okay. We have here h of 2x minus 8. First, I need the derivative at 2. So all inside here is 2, correct? It means 2x minus 8 is 2. Solve this equation, x will be equal to 5. So any x you have to substitute by 5, not by 2, not by 2. Because this one is not h of x, it's h of 2x minus 8. Okay. Now, it's given that h is equal to x squared multiply f of x. Correct? Given here. Okay, so derivative of h will be u multiply v, as you see. So the product rule will be what? U prime 2x multiply v f of x plus v prime f prime of x multiply by x squared. Of course, order here doesn't matter because it is plus and multiplication. Now we said x is what? 5. So 2 multiply 5 multiply by f of 5 plus f prime of 5 multiply 5 squared. F of 5, it's here given, equal 4. So you will substitute by 4. F prime of 5 is -6. So I will substitute this one by -6. Just make your calculation. 2 multiply 5 multiply 4. It's 40. Here is minus 6 multiply 5 squared, 150. So the answer will be -110. Okay? I think. Okay, again, which function has infinite discontinuity at x equals 1? Yes. Any answer? A, B, C, or D? Boys, did you hear me? Still here? Girls?
We can hear you, sir. We can hear you.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Teacher, we can hear you.
Yeah, what is the solution here?
D.
D, yes. From left, it is 1 over 0, or it will be infinity. From right, it will be 2 plus 1, 3. Okay. So it's D. Okay, next. If y equal negative 2x power 6 plus 5x squared plus 3. So find the smallest value for n so that d ny over dxn is equal to 0. It means what? What does it mean, this one? The derivative n time is equal to 0. Okay, just find the first derivative, second derivative, third derivative, till you get 0. That's all, yes. Okay, drive. So first derivative, negative 12 plus 10x. Okay, negative 12x power 5. Sorry. Second derivative, 5 multiply negative 12, negative 60, x power 4 plus 10. Four multiply negative 60, negative 240, x power 3. Okay, now y for the fourth time will be 3 multiply 240, negative 720, x squared, multiply or drive again, the fifth now. 2 multiply, so negative 0, 4, 14, x number 6, negative 1, 4, 4, 0. Now the seventh derivative will be 0. So n is what?
7.
7. By the way, always it will be 1 more. Means 6 plus 1. Okay.
Mister, can you go to the slide before this?
Yes.
Okay. I only wanted to take a picture.
Take a picture.
I'm done, Mister. You can go to the next slide.
Use the shown graph represented f of x to determine the graph of the function derivative f prime of x. So the first one is f of x. This one, f of x. Which one represents f prime of x?
B.
B. Good. First, this one is fourth degree. So the derivative must be third degree. So A or B. Now, it's what? Positive. Why positive? It's up, right? Both are up. The direction is up. So this one is the positive one. Okay. Now, again, we have f and we need f prime.
A
This
teacher.
one, A, good, yeah. Again, this one is third and positive. So which one? A, second degree, the third, so the derivative will be second degree and positive. Which function is not differentiable at x equal to? I think this is easy, anyone can do it. A, find the first derivative. First derivative from left is 0, from right is 2, so it's A. Here you can't find, anyone here you can't find the derivative, except this one from right not equal to from left. Okay, if d theta over dx equals 6, y equals sine theta, as theta equals 2 pi over 3, then dy by dx equals what? Dy by dx is equal to dy by d theta multiply d theta by dx. dy by d theta. We have y. So dy by d theta means y prime. It will be what? Cosine theta. Okay. So first one here is cosine theta. And theta also is what? 2 pi over 3. 2 pi over 3. So cosine 2 pi over 3. Multiply d theta by dx. It's given, it's 6. Okay, cosine 2 pi over 3 is what?
Negative half.
Negative?
Half.
Yes. So negative half multiplied by 6, which is what? Negative 3. Please repeat it. First one. Okay, find the derivative of f of x equals cosecant minus 1 of 2x. Derivative of cosecant is what?
Negative 1 over absolute value of x multiplied by square root of x squared minus 1 multiplied by derivative function of x.
Okay, so which one? Which one?
BB.
Yeah. Here is.
لا أستاذ آسف C.
1 minute يلا. شفت انت خدعتني تاني مرة. صح. Derivative of 2x is 2, right? The derivative of 2x is 2, not x. Yes, correct. C. If x, here is we have a table, x f of x, f prime of x. It means at x equal 2, f of x 4, f prime of x is 6. At x equal 5, f of x is 3, f prime of x is negative 1. Okay. And h of x is given here. Find the value of h prime at 2. X is 2 now. So we will use for what? For 2. If f of x, okay. H of x, f of x squared. So h prime of x will be 2 f of x minus f of x squared plus 1, f prime of x squared plus 1, plus f prime of 2. Here is 2f multiplied by f prime also, right? F of x squared, the derivative will be 2f of x multiplied f of x prime. X is what? Is 2, because we need h prime of 2. 2 multiply f prime of 2 multiply f of 2 minus f prime of 2 square plus 1. So f prime of 5 plus f prime of 2. Just substitute from the table. 2 f prime of 2, 6. Multiply f of 2 is 4. F prime of 5, when x is 5, f prime is -1. F prime of 2, it's what? It's 6. Here is multiply also. 2 multiply 6 multiply 4 is 48. Minus minus means plus 6, so it is 54. We don't have 54 here. Okay. Six, f of 2. F of 2 is 4 minus f prime of 5, f prime of 5, it's -1 plus f prime of 2, it's again 6. 48 plus 6, it's 54. Correct. So it will be 54. If x multiply y equals 1, find the slope of the tangent at x equals 2. Slope of the tangent means what?
Derivative.
Derivative, yes. How to derive? I prefer to put y in one side and now divide by x both sides. So y is equal to 1 over x. It means 1 prime will be -1 over x squared. Correct? At x equals what? 2. So -1 over 2 square, -1 over 4. Can we use the product rule? Yes, of course. So it will be x prime multiply y, but I think this is will be better here, right? Boys, girls, any question? If f of x equal e power 2 ln sine x, find the second derivative. First derivative, f prime of x will be e power 2 ln sine x multiplied by the derivative of 2 lines of x will be 2 ln, ln will be 1 over sine x multiplied by the derivative of sine, which is cosine. So you have 2 cosine over sine, cotan x multiply e power 2 ln sine x. Now the derivative of e will be the same. Here we put it the same. Then multiply by the derivative of the power. Derivative of 2 len, it will be 2. Derivative of len is 1 over x, 1 over sine x. Then find also the derivative of the interior function sine. Derivative of sine is what? Is cosine. 2 cosine over sine means 2 cotan multiplied by e power 2 len sine x. Second derivative, like we have u multiply v. Okay, so you can 2 outside here, and then u prime, derivative of cotan is what?
Negative cosecant square.
Multiply by e, the same 2 len sine x. Okay, plus cotan multiply by the derivative of e power 2 len sine x. This one again, you have to write it again. Okay, or this one means multiply by 2 cotan x multiply by e or 2 len sine x. Right here, you can take cotan x here, so yes, so it will be negative 2 cosecant square x e power 2 len sine x plus 2 cotan multiply cosine is what? Sine. Sine over cosine square multiply by e power 2 len sine x. Just you have to take e power sine outside. Here is we have negative 2 multiply 2, this is 4. So e power 2 len sine x multiply by, here is secant square, and here is negative 2 secant square x plus, when you take this one here outside, it will be again 4 خلي cosine x plus sine x. حتى نفسها زهقت. الشكل ده مش هيجي طبعا، تمام، لكن لان انت عندك تايمينج، فالى حد ما مش هيجيب شيء بالايه ان انت تقعد تجمع كل الكلام ده كله. Just you simplify here, it will be, by the way, A. Okay, this one is important here. Suppose that U of t measures the displacement in inches of a mass suspended from a spring t second after it is released, and that U of t is equal negative 4 cosine 2t. Find the maximum velocity. First, you have to find the velocity. How to find the velocity?
Derivative.
Yes, the derivative u prime of t, which is negative 8. Okay. Now, negative 8 what?
Negative sine 2t.
Yeah, negative sign, so it will be positive sine 2t. How to find the maximum now? Maximum of sine is what?
1.
1. Good. So the maximum will be 8 multiply 1, which is 8. Again, find the velocity, the first derivative. It will be 8 sine 2t. Any sign between what? -1 to 1, right? So the maximum value for sine, whatever I have inside here, it's 1. Sine, the maximum sine is 1. So 8 multiply 1 is what? Is 8. So this one would be the maximum velocity.
استاذ طب لو بدل كوساين كان حط ساين.
طيب لو بدل كوساين حط ساين، يلا نحلها. So if it is y or u of t is equal -4 sine 2t. Okay. So it will be -8 cosine 2t, the derivative. The maximum value for cosine is what?
1.
But I will not take the maximum. I will take what? The minimum. Why? Because it's negative here. So the maximum will be when you multiply negative by negative, not negative by positive. Understood?
Yes.
Here is it is positive. So you have to multiply by the maximum of sine. But this one is negative. So you have to multiply by a negative to convert it into what? Positive. Done? So
Yes.
again, it will be 8 also. حد تعب؟
لا استاذ كمل.
قربنا نخلص ما تخمت.
عيب عليك استاذ، كمل.
اوكي.
نحن لها نستطيع.
Use the logarithmic differential.
ربي تعب.
Differentiation to find the derivative of. We have f of x equal x power ln x. Take the ln for both sides. So ln f of x is equal to ln x power ln x. Derive both sides. Derivative of ln of x is what?
1 over fx.
Multiply by
F prime.
f prime of x. Here is u multiply v. So, right, u multiply v. Yeah, here is we missed one step here. We have to rewrite it as 1 minute. Ln f of x is equal to, we can put ln outside here, so ln x multiply by ln x. Okay. Here is as we have u multiply v. So it will be u prime 1 over x multiply ln x plus v prime 1 over ln x multiplied by u ln x 1 over x. No. So as if it is 2 over x ln x. Okay, boys and girls? Is it clear?
But teacher, shouldn't we multiply it by the original x ln of x?
Why? The denominator here. شوف دايما مين اللي دايما شغال أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. So f prime of x is equal to 2 over x ln x. All of this multiplied by x power ln x. Which one? So it's A.
ما شاء الله اذان.
نعم يا حبيبي.
أستاذ.
We need F triple drive. I have to drive 3 times at x equals 0. F prime of x is what? 6x squared plus 8x. Cosine would be negative sign. Second derivative, 12x plus 8 minus cosine x. Third derivative, it will be 12 plus sine x. At x is what? 0. Sine 0 is 0. So it's what? It must be 12. Here is how to find y prime. I tell you I prefer to put y in one side. So y equal sine square x over x. And we will use the quotient rule. So y prime will be u prime 2 sine x multiplied by cosine x. This u prime multiply x minus v prime is 1 multiplied by sine square x. Down would be x square. Just simplify now. 2 sine cosine multiplied by x. 2 sine cosine is what? It's 2 sine x.
Sine 2 theta.
Gun. Okay. So in a hurry, y we said is equal to sine square x over x. So y prime will be 2 sine x cosine x multiplied by x minus sine square x. over x squared. This one is x. Sine cosine. 2 sine cosine is sine 2x minus sine square x over x squared. Okay. Now, we don't have the same here, but we have another using y, as you see here. Okay. Y is what? Sine square over x. Right? Okay. Look here. First one we can put as sine 2x over x minus sine square x over x multiplied by x. This one is y. So it is sine 2x minus y over x. Okay.
teacher.
Yeah.
Can you
Okay.
repeat?
Okay. I will repeat. First, solve for y. So y will be sine square x over x. Find the derivative. U prime multiply v minus v prime multiply v prime, which is 1, multiplied by u. Simplify 2 sine cosine, it is sine squared, multiply x. Sine 2x, sorry, multiplied by x. Minus sine squared over x squared. Okay. First one, x sine 2x divided by x squared. So sine 2x over x.
Teacher?
You can reduce. Yes.
What happened to cosine? Can you repeat what happened to cosine?
2 sine cosine, it is sine 2x.
Yes.
Okay. Now, x sine 2x over x squared, it is sine 2x over x. You can delete x by x squared. Minus sine 2x over x squared. X squared, we can put it as x multiply x. Why? Because sine square x over x, it's y. The form here has y. Y over what x? The same denominator, so you can put it sine to x minus y over x, because x and x here, the same. Okay?
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Welcome. This one, it was an example. Suppose that a product currently sells for 25. With the price increasing at the rate of 2 per year. Change the color. At this current price, consumers will pay 150,000 items, but the number sold is decreasing at the rate of 8,000 per year. At what rate the total revenue changing? Is the total revenue increasing or decreasing? Okay. Revenue will be the quantity multiplied by the price. And we said any change of rate means the derivative. You can put quantity as Q and price as B, just to make it easier. So the derivative here of R will be Q prime multiplied by B plus Q multiplied by P prime. Which one Q prime, which one B? Okay. Q prime, the rate here, which was decreasing by 8 per year. So I will reduce or substitute by -8. P is the amount here, which is 25, plus Q, the amount he paid, which was 150. How many? 150,000. No need to put 1,000, just put 150. And the rate per year, it was 2. So instead of P prime, I will put what? 2. Then after, find the answer here and put 1,000 because it wants to be 150,000, as we said. This is the last one. Find an equation of the tangent line. Equation of tangent line, how to find it? Y equal m x minus x1 plus y1. Sometimes it will be y minus y1 equal m x minus x1. According to the solution we have, you can simplify, then select the correct answer. Okay, now m for the first one will be what? Y prime. Sine 2x, it will be 2 sine 2x multiplied by cosine 2x. At x equals 0 will be 0. So m here is what? 0. Right? Y minus y1. Both x is 0. Both x equals 0. When x equals 0 here, y will be what? 0 also. Don't forget 0, x minus x1, so means y equals 0. Okay. Second one. Y prime will be 1 over 2 square root of x squared plus 1 multiplied by the derivative of x squared plus 1, which is 2x. You can delete 2 by 2. And x is what? At x is what? 0. So 0 over square root of 0 plus 1 means 0. M is 0. Y minus y1 equal m x minus x1. y1, how to find y1? Substitute by x equals 0 here. Y equal square root of 0 square plus 1 equals 1. So y minus 1 is equal to 0. It means y equals 1. No need to substitute here because m is 0, so all will be 0. Boys and girls, any question?
No, teacher.
No. Yeah, now we find. Yes, tell me.
أستاذ أول واحدة ليش أنت عامل 2 sin 2x ضرب cosine 2x؟
Okay, derivative of sine is what?
Cosine.
Here is 2x, sorry. Yeah, 2x, not sine x. But the way it is 0 يعني. اللي بس بستعجل. 2x. 2, sorry. Yeah. Y prime will be. Yeah. Only
ادرس هذا الأستاذ.
Yeah. So it will be 2. Cosine 0 is 1. 2 multiply 1 is 2. So it will be 2 here multiply x minus 0. So y will be equal to x. And at x equals 0. So it will be what? No. That's 2 y equal to x. تمام. شكرا جزيلا. And boys and girls, already I finished. I have finished. If you have any question, you can ask me.
شكرا أستاذ، يعطيك العافية على الحصة.
Thanks you أستاذ.
Welcome.
مشكور أستاذ.
ماشي. بالنجاح والتوفيق إن شاء الله بكرة بإذن الله.
ترى أستاذ ساعدنا.
إن شاء الله يا أستاذ ما قصرت.
ساعدنا عطنا منك تحت الطاولة. تحت الطاولة أستاذ كل شيء.
تحت الطاولة.
كله فوق الطاولة.